And there she calls and tells me I am. So that's good. So everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. This is our webinar. We're going to Croatia in November of 2022. Those of you who have been on a tour with us before, I think you know Adventure World has been really exceptional in their care of us and so forth, and just have a lot of fun, which is a lot of why I like to do the trips. I like the fun people to go with me. So, and if, of course, this is open to anyone in the United States. If you have friends or family that are not on this webinar or not in person right now, we will be having this on our website and so forth, on our YouTube channel, so we can forward that to them, because the more the merrier. We had about 54 of us went to Greece in November, and we had an absolute ball. And we have a group going to the southern coast of Spain, leaving in 2 weeks. So we're traveling up, and we're getting our trips ready for 2023. So with that, I'm going to introduce Ian Scott, who is with Adventure World. Go ahead, Ian.
Thank you, Libby. Thanks for having me here today, and great to be discussing Croatia and the Dalmatian coast. Over the years, it's been a pleasure to be able to assist the Hilliard Area Chamber and Libby for their international awareness programs. Again, over those years, Libby has done such a wonderful job creating and finding interesting, vibrant locations for those international awareness programs. As you may have heard a moment ago, 50 plus people went to Greece last year. And in a couple of weeks, there's a group going out of the Hilliard Chamber to Spain. So yeah, both of those follow right in line with those vibrant, interesting international Hilliard Area Chamber awareness programs. And in November 2022, it's no different. This time it's going to be to Croatia and the Dalmatian coast. It's basically the opposite side of Italy. So most of this area was controlled by Italy for some time, but it's also been the Austro-Hungarian Empire, as well as many other, the Turkish Empire, many other empires controlled Croatia over the years. But in a moment with the ADA slides, we're going to go through the trip. If I could ask a favor, if you could hold your questions to the end, please, could you do that? If you would like to go through and ask questions as we go along, you can, if you scroll your mouse to the top of your screen, you will be, a toolbar will drop down, and right in the middle of that toolbar, there is a thing that says chat. If you click on that chat, you'll be able to type questions in there as we're going along. Okay, and I will not leave today without answering everybody's questions, whether they're voice questions, verbal questions online, or if they're chat, I will answer the questions on for you. So without further ado, November the 2nd to the 10th, great time to be heading into this particular region. We're going from really the Southern European Dalmatian coast up to a temperate Northern European capital. We've got two separate weather zones, climates. We've got the palm trees and beautiful beaches of the south, up through the pine forests of central Croatia, up into the capital city of Zagreb. Now, before we head out there, let's talk a little bit about who Adventure World is. So Adventure World, we've been in business since 1972, and this year is our 50th anniversary of operation. We have offices all over the world, as well as the east and west coasts of the US, but offices in Paris, Rome, London, Delhi, and Cairo. And we're a member of Sakara International Travel Group with thousands of employees worldwide. They own, Sakara owns riverboats, hotels, bus companies, and other travel-related entities. We're dedicated to bringing forth the treasures of the world to you. Now, treasures just don't mean that the sights and sounds that we see, but, you know, meeting with locals, learning of the local community, a little bit of a local industry and such things as that on our program. We'll discuss a little bit more about that as we go through the program. But there are so many treasures, from Lake Bled behind me up in Slovenia in the Julian Alps to the UNESCO heritage sites of Dubrovnik and Split. For those people who've watched the, I've forgotten it now, the, what was that program? Libby, you know that program. What is that program? Game of Thrones, that's what it is, I've remembered. For those who watch the Game of Thrones, you'll see many of the backdrops for the Game of Thrones. Dubrovnik and Split, the Roman Palace in Split, the Diocletian's Palace. Oh yes, so many great treasures. We're the official travel provider of ACCE. ACCE is a chamber advocacy group, a worldwide advocacy group, but the Hilliard Area Chamber is a member of that organization. We follow their standards of quality and codes of ethics, and we're proud to be that official travel partner. We are a wholesaler of travel, and I make that distinction quite early. So as a wholesaler, we contract directly at the source. Hotels, airlines, bus companies, restaurants. We tend to every single dollar, and we negotiate on your behalf. So yes, we believe that, as we say in our last statement, we class ourselves as a leader in value price first class programs because of that. So as we contract directly at the source, there's no middlemen. So there's no effective quality in our value pricing. Lastly, we're a company of change. I think we've all changed over the last 2 years, but we'll show you going through this how we changed as a company with our operation and such things as that. So without further ado, let's head out. So here we are in the walled harbor of Dubrovnik. We can see the brochure right there in the right of the shot. You don't have to be from the Columbus area to go on the trip. You don't have to be on the Midwest. You don't have to be even from the United States to go on this trip. You might have family, however, in New York, friends in Miami, ex-neighbors in Washington State. Let them know you're going. Libby and Aventura World would be happy to have them travel with us out of their home gateway. Just the brochures on the Chamber's website, and they could download it, print it up, and read it, and get their reservation over to Libby, and we'd be happy to have them on the trip. As we move along, yes, this destination.
And really quickly, I just got a notice from my daughter that says she cannot see the screen, just you. So I'm trying to see can everybody else see the screen?
All right.
Because on the Zoom, I mean, our Zoom, but we're here, we can see it all. Oh, she does now, she said. So go back, try it again, Ian, please.
I'll quickly just show this. I'll quickly go back a couple. So here's the walled city of Dubrovnik that I was discussing a moment ago. And now we're talking about the culture and traditions of the region. Spectacular region, as I mentioned. For those people who've been to Italy on numerous occasions, this is a great destination for you. It has all the Italian flair, all the food and wine, but a completely different environment, a different coastline, and a vibrant history. It is the home of Marco Polo, and we'll talk about that in a moment. It brings forth a warm and inviting, friendly people. Beautiful countryside and coastlines as we go down the Dalmatian coast. Great food. We go from the meats of Zagreb down to the seafoods of the coast and the game food in the Plitvice Lakes region. Day one, we'll find ourselves leaving Columbus bound for Croatia. There are no non-stop flights out of Columbus to get to Croatia. So we're going to have to go to an international US gateway, a Chicago, a New York, an Atlanta, to fly over to a European gateway to arrive into and welcome to Zagreb. And this is our itinerary as we have it. We land in Zagreb, this arrow coming in, we land in Zagreb. From Zagreb, we go down to Split. From Split, we go down the coastline to Dubrovnik. From there, we come back through Mostar, up through into a place called Plitvice Lakes. And from Plitvice Lakes, we go back up to Zagreb, fly home, or continue on to Slovenia and Lake Bled, which is behind me.
Hey, Ian, real quick, okay, what we're seeing, what I'm seeing is just still the first slide. This is the Hilliard Area Chamber of Commerce presents. I haven't seen any other slides yet.
Well, I don't know why that's happening.
This is on his computer.
What are you seeing now?
Still, it's the whole, it's not even the whole, I see your slides on the left that says 1, 2, 3 and all that, but it's still the main thing that says Hilliard Area Chamber presents. I see your, yeah, now I can see you scrolling down on the left a little bit when you just did that.
Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, because it may be the wrong screen that I'm sharing. Give me one moment.
Okay.
How about that?
Now I see the map that you just referred to.
Right. Sorry about that. We're having some technical trouble.
Now
So
we're on
here we
day one.
go.
Yeah.
So this is the itinerary into Zagreb, down to Split, through the forests of Croatia, down to the Dalmatian coast, into the Diocletian's Palace area, along the coastline road, into Dubrovnik, from Dubrovnik back through Mostar, Turkish history, into Plitvice, from Plitvice to Zagreb, either fly home or depart back out after that through to Ljubljana for an extension. Do we have the next slide on, Libby? Day 2, welcome to Croatia, yes?
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, great. So day 2 will be arriving into Croatia sometime and into Zagreb in the afternoon period. And on we go. Welcome to Zagreb, the capital, a cosmopolitan, grand city, granite buildings everywhere, beautiful statues, and again, a spectacular, small but beautiful capital city. We'll be met here by our tour director and our modern air-conditioned motor coaches, and off we'll go to the hotel for our first night stay in Zagreb. Day 3, we'll find ourselves as we start our city tour of Zagreb. We'll see the Opera House, we'll see St. Mark's and the old section itself. As we head into the old section, we'll have a spotted bus and walking tour. And here we are inside the old section with its multicolored houses, its cobblestone streets. Continuing on, we'll leave Zagreb behind, go through some beautiful, fertile green lands, vineyards. We'll find Baroque and Renaissance churches perched high on hillsides close by, arriving into Split. And this will be our first place on the Dalmatian coast. Split is a Roman settlement, and enter the Emperor Diocletian called this home, and we'll see the Diocletian Palace in a moment. It is also the home of Marco Polo. And how is that possible? Marco Polo surely was Italian. Well, it was Italy when he lived, when he was born in this area. And if we go to a shot in a moment, you'll see as we move along, all the mountains in the background. That's where all the wood for the foundation of Venice was taken from. So all those wooden beams that hold Venice out of the water, that's Velebit, and that's the mountains at the back of Split, where all that wood came from. Strip harvested, there's very few bits of wood there in today's day and age. Day 4, we'll find ourselves, though, on our city tour of Split. We'll see the Diocletian's Palace. we'll head out to Trogia, a medieval fortified port, and we'll go to the Etno village, and we'll learn as part of our cultural discovery series how Dalmatians lived in the past. Now, here's a great view of Split, the palm trees, the warm nature of the environment, the main promenade at the side of the harbor where you'll find restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and such things as that. This is the start of the Diocletian's Palace, the tower there. For the adventurous amongst you, you can climb to the very, very top of that tower and it holds spectacular views of the entire area from there. Here we are on the promenade, as I mentioned earlier, and here we are in the Diocletian's Palace. Part of the Diocletians will be with your private guide. They'll be bringing forth the history and the culture of Split, as well as its strong Roman history. As you wander around Split, you'll find Roman history everywhere. See Roman carvings on the walls. These buildings were made and erected during the Emperor Diocletian's period. You'll find viaducts that you can see here that still host the water system of the old town itself. And it's a great area just to wander in some free time. Grab a cup of coffee, grab a slice of cake, have a fabulous experience. Continuing on this day, we'll continue to Trogia. Trogia is the quintessential fortified town, coastal town. From here, we'll have a guided tour of Trogia, and here you can see its true beauty. It's perched on a small island just off the mainland itself. You can see that canal that creates the island environment. We'll go through the Roman gate into the old town and continue with our guided tour. Bit of free time to do a spot of shopping before continuing on to the Etno village. Up in the mountains at the back of Split, we'll learn of how locals, Dalmatians, would have lived in a rural environment. You'll find houses typically made with stoves, the gardens of what they would have grown, and you'll find people in period costume and period character as we go through the Etno village itself. Come back that evening, relax, take it easy, maybe grab a typical bowl of pasta, some seafood, try some of the wines of the area. The wines in this area are some of the best in Europe at the moment. Maybe stop for some and do a spot of shopping for some local alcohol, whether it's Slivovitz, which is the plum brandy, extremely strong. It would be a little bit like US moonshine, or schnapps in all sorts of fruit flavors and herbal flavors. After our 2-night stay in Split, we'll continue from Split, heading further down the Dalmatian coast. Spectacular small coastal Mediterranean villages, emerald blue oceans and green oceans, crystal clear waters, arriving through to Dubrovnik. And here you can see the old town again in the typical ramparts of the walled city itself. Our hotel is just off of the main old town itself. Hotels don't really exist inside the ancient section. It just doesn't. It's again, it's a UNESCO heritage site, and that's not, larger hotels are not allowed in here. But we're just by the port itself, and it's a great opportunity. Whilst we're here, we'll see the main Corso, the main promenade shopping area. We'll continue on to Enferios Fountain, the Dominican monastery, and then give you some free time to wander around Dubrovnik. Maybe head out along the walled areas. On day 6 is a free day. Again, maybe head down to Dubrovnik, wander those walled sections, go and do some shopping in the main area, just relax and watch the world go by, or take an optional tour to Montenegro and the Bay of Kotor. Montenegro and the Bay of Kotor is the fjords of Southern Europe. For those people who've been to Norway, this is Southern Europe's equivalent. Cruise ships call this area home, and we're into Montenegro now, another country. So you've been to Croatia, you have the opportunity to go to Montenegro, and as we go further along, we'll be in Slovenia, as well as Bosnia. And here we are, the spectacular coastal scenes of Montenegro and Kotor. If you don't wish to, take it nice and easy, relax in Dubrovnik itself. Now, on day 7, we'll be heading back up north and leaving Dubrovnik and the coast behind us. And we'll be heading inland through highly fortified medieval villages perched high on mountain sides into Bosnia-Herzegovina and into Mostar. This is typical Turkish history and heritage. Some great shopping to be had in this area, and it's a completely different environment. Time to take in the Turkish and Ottoman traditions. For those people who've been to Acapulco, you can see the Mostar equivalent. They dive from the bridge into the river below, and you can see them preparing right there. This is a fabulous piece of engineering. There are no supports. Each stone in the bridge holds the next stone in place. And it is, yes, as I mentioned, spectacular, a piece of engineering. Whilst here, we'll go into the old Turkish section that we're looking at on the left-hand side. Great things to shop for: Turkish lamps, meerschaum pipes, brass items, leather items, or just sample some of that strong Turkish coffee whilst here, and have a truly Turkish environment. Continuing on after Mostar, we'll continue through the southern forests of Croatia, arriving into Plitvice that evening. And welcome to Plitvice. We'll stay overnight in Plitvice. Plitvice is known for its lakes and its waterfalls, and here we're looking at them. Day 8, we'll find ourselves touring Plitvice. This is a national park. As you can see at the bottom of this shot, there's a wooden raised walkway virtually all the way around. We start by going across one of the lakes by boat, and then we start a steady walk, a slow, even walk, as we go around a small circle of waterfalls, viewing the spectacular sights. There's one waterfall here that's nearly 360 degrees. The water comes in at one level, and it's just a huge horseshoe of water cascading down. Over the years, the calcium-rich water has developed these waterfalls. It's some of the clearest water you'll find anywhere. Big trout swimming in and around the area, and these are some of the sights you will see. For those people who feel they may not be able to do that, we always say, try it. You can always come back afterwards. At the entrance to the park, there's a little cafe that has great coffee, cakes, and hot dogs. If you'd like to just take it nice and easy. We will continue on that evening after viewing Plitvice back up to Zagreb and settle back into Zagreb that evening. And the next day we'll be departing, day 9, for the airport and our flight back to Columbus with spectacular culture and history. Great wine, without a doubt. Adventure through travel with your fellow friends. fellow family members and fellow Hilliard area chamber travelers. Natural beauty, not found anywhere else. The scenery that you find in Croatia is so different than anywhere else in Europe. Newfound friendships, yes, throughout the program. Magnificent coastal scenes, strong history, and your included features on this program are round-trip air from Columbus. We got first-class hotel accommodations for 7 nights. We got 9 meals, which equates to 7 full breakfasts and 2 dinners. We've got all your touring except one. You got 1 day of, if you'd like to take an optional tour, or just do nothing at all that day when it's the Montenegro tour. But you've got city tour of Zagreb, you got a tour of Split, including the Diocletian's Palace, you've got Trogir, you've got the Ethno Village, you've got a city tour of Dubrovnik, a tour of Mostar, tour of Plitvice Lakes, included in the program. We've got a professional tour director on the program for the entire length of the tour on arrival in Zagreb. You got deluxe air-conditioned motor coaches throughout the program, baggage handling for 1 piece of luggage. The price of the program is $34.99 per person, double occupancy. I hope at that now you can see the value and the opening statement that I made. We class ourselves as the leader in value price first class programs. All the above for $3,500 is tremendous value. If you'd like to be a single occupancy, it's $699. Your fuel surcharges are included in the airline fuel surcharges are included. There is $150 worth of land taxes, which are additional, and you'll be charged at final payment for those. All fuel and taxes are subject to change, but we assess that is current at the time of print. Now, importantly, this price of $34.99 is an early bird price as long as you reserve your spot by April the 1st. After that date, it goes up by $100 per person to $35.99. It's better to be in your pocket than in our pocket. Now, importantly, don't wait too long. If you know you want to go, please sign up sooner than later to avoid disappointment, not if, but when this trip sells out. We have more than this, the Hilliard Area Chamber on this date. We'll discuss more about that in a moment. Now, whilst you're there, a lot of people say, hey, I'd like to stay a little longer. So in this case, our optional extension, it's a 2-night extension, is to Slovenia in the Julian Alps, right at the foot of the Tyrolean Mountains. Spectacular region, a small country. The extension goes from the 10th till the 12th. First class hotel for 2 nights, 3 meals, which is a buffet breakfast and 1 dinner. You've got your touring, transfers to and from Zagreb, but we've got a tour of Lake Bled, Ljubljana, and Postojna caves, the largest caves in Europe. Tour director continuing on with us throughout the program. We've got deluxe air-conditioned motor coaches continuing along with us, and we've got baggage handling in and out of the airports and to the in and out of the hotel and to the airport too. Now, $699 per person, double occupancy, $998 single is the price. And here we are, day 9, we'll wave goodbye to those people who chose to go home, and we'll say to them, why didn't you come with us to Slovenia? They'll head to Zagreb Airport and fly home while we continue on to Lake Bled. This is the quintessential alpine lake town. There's a castle overlooking, and I'm hopeful you can see my mouse. You can see the castle overlooking the lake. This is Lake Bled, the town itself, the fairy tale, a church, an island in the middle of the lake. The air over here is so clean and fresh. I used to have to go, I lived in Croatia for many years, and every week I would have to go to Slovenia and to Bled every Thursday, in actual fact, and stay Thursday evenings. When I arrived for the first time in Lake Bled, every hour, on the hour, the church bells ring. And there are so many churches in and around the area. And I thought, there's no way I'm ever going to get to sleep here. I was out like a light every night that I stayed there. The air is so fresh and it is so relaxing. I never heard one of those church bells through the night. And here we are, great place to wander. There's a path all the way around the lake, and it is spectacular. We'll see. We'll have a city tour of Lake Bled, and we'll go to the top, to the castle, and we'll look down at the lakes, up to the mountains above us, just drink in the spectacular mountain scenery. If you wish, on your free time, you can take a boat out on the lake. These are wooden boats, antique boats that take you across to the church on the island if you wish. One of my favorite things to do in Bled is to at the golf hotels cafe on the lake itself, you'll find the best cream cake in the world, I believe. Fresh cream, a custard and a phyllo pastry, spectacular. I strongly encourage you just to go on the trip, just to sample one of these. It's unbelievable. Day 10, day 9, it's a relaxing. We'll arrive, relax, take it easy. Day 10, our touring starts as we head into Lake Bled on our city tour and continuing on to Ljubljana. And here we are in Ljubljana, the capital of Slovenia. It's one of those tongue twisters that by the time you're leaving, you've probably got the name right of the capital, but it's Ljubljana. And here we are. It's known as the Venice of the Balkans. And it's a great place to wander. The architecture is beautiful. The castle that we can see, it overlooks the main UNESCO Heritage Old Town section. We don't go into the castle because it's quite difficult to get into. It wasn't built as a tourist establishment. It was built as a castle, lots of steps, so we don't enter there. But we do see a mixture of coach and walking tours. Here's part of the Venetian canal system, as they call it. While you're here, you might want to try some schnapps. Schnapps is Slovenian as anything that there is possibly out there. The locals love their schnapps, whether it's apple schnapps, peach schnapps, plum, cherry, all sorts of stuff. Great thing to do is relax and sample one of them. After viewing the capital city of Ljubljana, we'll continue on to Postojna Caves. As I mentioned earlier, the largest cave system in Europe. It is large enough to have a train go in there. We go in by train. And here we can see the train system going in. Once in the systems, you can see even floorways. There's no need for a flashlight and safety helmet. It's all huge caverns with huge stalactites and stalagmites throughout the area. And here you can see the immensity of the main cavern here, where they have orchestral concerts on some occasions. We'll come back to Lake Bled, and this will be your last night on Lake Bled. And then the next day, day 11, we'll find ourselves flying back to the United States with spectacular memories of a fabulous countryside, of the Dalmatian coast, of traditions and culture far different than the Midwest, warm and friendly people, history spanning centuries from inland enclaves through to coastal villages. And how do you reserve this trip? It's kind of easy. We use the registration form on the program itself. Now, as we go through there, you can see at the very bottom of the main cover, you can find Libby's contact information. Any questions you may have, that's how you get hold of Libby. If you want to submit your registration form in a paper format, you get it over to Libby, either delivered hand delivered or emailed through to her. Just briefly, we'll go through. It is one registration form per passenger. And it's easy to fill out. Your name as it appears in your passport, first, last name, first, middle name, last name, date of birth, passport number, country of issue and expiration date. If you don't have your passport number right now, or you don't have a passport even, put your name as it appears in your birth certificate, get yourself on the trip, and then when you get your passport number, send in your passport number to us via Libby. Then you've got address, city, state, zip code. Email address, please do carefully handwrite your email address in here. We do send invoices to you based on your email address. Home phone number, cell phone number. Then single occupancy, tick that box. If you're a single, double, tick that box, and then circle twin or double beds. There are no king size beds or queen size beds in this on this program, but circle double or twins and who you're sharing the room with. And then have the other person fill out a form and indicate that they're sharing the room with you here. Now we get into the section of the touring. Montenegro, yes or no? Bled extension, yes or no? And then total up the amount of the trip. The reason we have the total here is that it's for insurance reasons. The differences being is that the price of the insurance. So yes, I want the optional tours. Do you want the extension? Drop it in there if you do, and then total it up, and whatever figure comes out at the bottom, we look down here for the brackets of what the price of the insurance is. If you've listened to one of my presentations before, I always say the same thing, and please, it is the most important thing. If there's one thing you hear today, this is what I would like you to hear. I hope you all take out travel insurance, and I hope you all waste your money on it. You're not going on this trip to see if travel insurance works. You're going out there for fun, camaraderie, adventure with friends. But it's historically the time you don't take it out. Insurance, this is a time you need it. Or you see somebody that something happens to, and that will change your mind forever. I have seen it all too many times. We have two different types of insurance. One is standard insurance. Second one, cancel for any reason. So the standard insurance, it covers what we're looking at right here. Pre-trip cancellation due to sickness or death of you and immediate family member, medical on the trip, trip interruption, travel delays, misconnections, medical evacuation, lost luggage or personal effects, baggage delays. You can see the policy right here, and I'll show it. We'll go through how to do the insurance in a moment. But also, for those people who would like a little bit more, we have cancel for any reason. And cancel for any reason is just that. As long as you reserve, you cancel for any reason with us at the time of initial deposit, initial payment, you qualify for cancel for any reason insurance. After that period, after 24 hours, you no longer qualify for cancel for any reason. So cancel for any reason covers all this on the left-hand side, plus it covers up to 65% of a refund back from the insurance company of your penalty amount. However, we value Libby and we value you as a traveler, and we wanted to make that offer better than that. So as a sign that we appreciate you traveling with us and the Chamber's partnership, we augment that offer with 35% of the penalty amount in future travel credit from Aventura World. So in all aspects, between the 65% refund from the insurance company and our 35% in future travel credits, you are covered 100% financially if you decide to cancel the trip. Now, remember, you have to sign up for cancel for any reason with initial reservation or before 24 hours of that cancellation has passed. And you must cancel before 48 hours of the trip departs. That's the criteria of it. If it be a medical condition that happens, and again, let's all touch wood, you don't need this and you're going to waste your money on it, you are covered 100% if it belongs to the trip cancellation due to sickness or death, and you have a doctor's note for it, you get $100. So basically what you get with cancel for any reason, you get everything on the left-hand side, plus the ability to cancel for any reason, okay? Keep that in mind. As we see it right here now. So the policy cost on this price of the program, as we look right here, from $3,000 to $3,500 is $221 per person. Cancel for any reason is exactly 50% more. So it's $331.50. We highly recommend insurance, and in today's day and age, we highly recommend cancel for any reason for your peace of mind. Okay. As the program goes up in price, it goes up a little bit more. Now, the next, yes, you tick which box you'd like. Yes, I'd like travel insurance. Tick which one you'd like. We have a calculate deposit. It's $600 per person to reserve your space on this trip. Indicate $600 in this box right here. And if you'd like the Montenegro tour, include that in there. Then we've got the optional blood extension. If you're going on it, include that in there. Travel insurance, if you want it, include that in there. Total all these up and drop it in there. If there's one person paying for 2 or 3 people, then you do exactly that. 3 people's worth of deposit, 3 people's worth of extension, 3 people's worth of insurance, drop it in there. And whatever that figure drops out here, you drop it in this box down at the bottom. We take checks made out to Aventura World and mailed to the chamber. Check number right there. Anybody that wants to pay by credit card and paper form, then once we are in possession of your reservation, please make sure you put this calculate deposit in here, because the amount that you have in here and in this section here is the amount we will send you a link. We will send a link to you to pay directly into our merchant account. It's a very secure method, and it's been given to us by our merchant account to stop fraud and to protect you. We do not keep credit cards anywhere on paper or anywhere in the World Wide Web up in the cloud somewhere. So when you do send this in to us, you've put in here, if there's 2 of you, there's $1,200 in this box. We'll send you a link for $1,200. You will click that link. It will launch our merchant account site, super secure site, and it'll have $1,200 listed in there, and you'll put your credit card number in there, press send, and you're paid. If you'd like to do it another way online, we'll show you how to do that in a minute. Now, importantly, I mentioned to you, we've changed in times. We now include and highly recommend cancel for any reason. That's one of the ways we've changed. But also, from the time of booking all the way up to 131 days before you go, you can get back your deposit given to Aventura World, any tour money that you've given, optional tour money, any extensions that you've given to Aventura World, you can get them back without any questions at all. Full refund all the way up to 131 days before you go. However, if you do purchase travel insurance, that is non-refundable, as soon as you purchase it, it is working on your behalf. So I always look at the fact, pre-COVID, I was doing 3 trips a year. international. 20 years. So I've done about 60 trips in the last 20 years overseas. I always take travel insurance out. I've used it twice. So in all aspects, I have wasted my money 58 times. Having said that, I continue to take it because I have seen people when they need it and they don't have it, how important it is. If we look at car insurance, we must have car insurance. We very rarely use it. We waste our money on car insurance. House insurance, we must have it. We rarely use it. In all aspects, each year that goes by, unless something happens, we waste our money on that in all aspects. I ask you to look at the same way for travel insurance. It's well worth taking it out to protect you and your investment. But walk into it as though you're wasting your money on it. Once you've gone through that, put in the amount of money that will be charged on your credit card in here, sign it, date it, get it over to the chamber. Now, for those people who've traveled with us before, you may have filled out and gone online and booked online. If you have done this in the past, then you have an account with us. You'll basically on the left-hand side, put your email in here, your password, put whatever code underneath in the box below and log on. Yeah, and it's done. And you'll be into your system with all your details already there to go ahead and book the trip. If you haven't done this before, you'll have to create a new user. Put your first name, last name, email address, and create a password. Confirm the password, and then there will be a code like the box here. Put it in the box and click and submit. As soon as you do that, this will come up. Thank you for your registration. You'll receive an email shortly to activate your account. This is a computer. It's not a human. It hasn't gone for a cup of tea. It hasn't gone to the bathroom or lunch. If you don't get a response from this system in about 20 seconds, one or two things happen. One, you typed in your email address incorrectly, which probably it didn't. You didn't. Second, it went in your spam. Check your spam. This is what you'll find. This is the email you'll get. So it says, I've entered a world, please verify your email address. And this blue section here, you'll click it and you've just verified your email address and they know it's you. So now you can go ahead and activate your account. So now you'll put in your email address, your password, drop in the code, press login, and you will be at this section here. For those people that already have an account with us, this is where once you've opened your account with your password, with your email address, you'll basically put the booking code in this box here. The booking code is found under Libby's name and contact number on the front page of the brochure or on the registration page at the very back. If you've already got that account with us, drop it in there, press enter, and you'll go. If you haven't, there's just a little bit of work that you have to do for the first time. You have to set up your profile. So it's going to say here, wait one moment, I apologize, I've moved. My account. So it's going to ask for your name. It's going to ask for your address. It's going to ask for your email address, such things as that, and various things in there. Then it's going to ask for your passport information. You as the account holder. I might do it. My wife might do it. Somebody in the family does it. And then once you've done that, you'll save that. You'll then go to additional traveler. So I might put, in this additional traveler, I may put my wife in there. I might put my 2 kids in there. It'll say, what are their addresses? What are their passport numbers? What are their ages? You can even attach, if you have a photograph of your passport, you can even attach your passport to that page. Once you've done that, you save it, and you don't have to do it for future years. Once you've done that, then you can go to book now, and it will come into here. You'll put your number, the confirmation code in here, the booking code, and here we are. This is an example, but it will have Croatia on it. It won't have Santorini, but it will start with the passenger information. You'll start with number 1. Click on number 1, and it will say who's on the trip. It's all plug and play now. It's all checked. I'm going on it. My wife's going on it. One of my sons is going. 3 people are on it. Great. It's all in there because I've already put it in there. From setting up my profile, save, next, goes to room occupancy. The computer goes, wait a minute, there's 3 people. How are you all sleeping? Is it a triple occupancy? Is it 3 single people? Is it 1 double and 1 single? How is it? So it'll say, yes, it's a double, and this person's in the double, and this one's in the single. Save, move on. Air gateway. If you're flying out of Columbus, you don't need to do anything here. But if somebody wants to go out of a different gateway, they will indicate, I want to go out of LA. I want to go out of New York. Press that, save it, and move on. At any time during this process, if somebody comes to the door, or you're cooking and all of a sudden things start to burn on the stove, you can stop the process. You've already saved it, and come back to the process by going into your account and continuing on with the reservation. But here we are now. We've gone through the air. We'll go to number 4, optional programs. Do I want Montenegro? Yes or no? Do I want Lake Bled? Yes or no? If I say, yes, I do, it says, who wants it? Do all of you want it? Do I want it? Does my wife want it? Does my son want it? Yes, they do. Great. When you get into the extension to Lake Bled, it says, are the rooms still the same? Twin, 1 twin and 1 single. Yes, it is. It's just click and play, click, 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 save, move on. What's a little different now, number 5, to if you booked last year, is now number 5 will calculate everything for the price of the insurance. But at the end of the process, when you've gone through number 6, you'll be provided with a link to click on, and it goes directly to the insurance website, and you will be able to book directly. I'll show you how you do that in a moment. So it basically will say, based on the price of this trip, with the optional extension, if I booked it, this is the price of standard insurance. This is the price of cancel for any reason. Would you like it? Yes or no? You cannot book it in number 5 afterwards. After you've gone through number 6, you have the ability to book it. So then you go through to number 6, and it just basically, you check everything off in case your reservation is correct. Once you've got that, everything you've checked it's correct, you can put your credit card in there. It's a secure server. We don't save the credit card again, but as soon as you put the credit card in there, expiration date, billing address, etc., it goes directly to our merchant account. And then it will say, thank you for your reservation. And then you'll get a link for the insurance. And if you wish to, on our website, you can see it. And you can click on here and it will be able to pull up the insurance. But this is what you're going to get when you click the link after making your reservation. And it's going to say, when's your departure date? What's the cost of the trip? When's your return date? How many people is it for? 1, 2, it's for all. It's for me, it's for my wife, and it's for my son. What's the state of residence? Submit. And then it tells you the policy. I've got a little bit of it here. I couldn't get it all on one screenshot. So it's all here of the policy. And then it goes down to the second section of the policy. The reason I'm showing you this is really important. So here you've got cancel for any reason at the bottom of the included features and amounts for the policy. Yes, I would like it. Boom, here it is. It tells you how much additionally it is, but click this and yes, there's the insurance. Then it asks you, and just click on that box. It will bring up a calendar. When did I make my initial reservation? Don't forget, you cannot do a cancel for any reason after 24 hours. So I strongly encourage you, when you've made your reservation and it's gone through on number 6 on the booking engine, you click here and get your, if you want cancel for any reason, do that. Now, step 3 is when you put all your details in here. First name, last name. You do not need a member ID. Forget about it. It's not starred. Home address, city, state, address, zip code, all there. Okay. The next section, the information on any other beneficiary information right here, what the relationship is, travel agent, ID code, it's already there. Agency code, it's already there. You do not need to put anything in here. If you want to be really, really efficient, you can put in the travel agent email. It's aventuraworld@aventuraworld.com. In that box right there, but you don't need to. As we go through trip information, what's the destination you're going to? Croatia. It's a pull down. Drop it in there. Okay. Airline. You don't know what the airline is just yet. So undetermined from the pull down is there. So just that's what you'll indicate, because you don't know what the airline is at this moment. And then you're going to press submit. It will take you to number 4. And you'll put your credit card details in there, and it's done. We welcome you to join us again for another fabulous vacation with the family of Aventura World. And anybody got any questions? There's none online. So if somebody wants to drop in a question online, please feel free to do so. But Liddy, if you can open up the switchboard and see if anybody has any questions.
Well, we're just thrilled that you put our picture there from the Amalfi Coast, because some of the people are in this room that went on that tour. So
Is that right?
yeah, that's us right there. And we
That's
had our
you right there.
yeah, we had our paper from our local newspaper. It's our travel section, and they put it in the news. Then they put it in the paper. So yeah, that's awesome. Oh, that's so funny. I didn't even notice it. They're going, oh, that's us. That's us. Yeah, there it is. Anybody have any questions in this room? Does anybody have any questions? Who's watching it on Zoom? You can unmute yourself and ask the question. You're more than welcome to do that.
Hi, it's Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Just curious when you might have information on the hotels.
There's various hotels that we use. We historically use the Westin in Zagreb. We use the Corner in Split. But again, there's few. If you've traveled with us before, you know that we're part of where we do is we're constantly negotiating programs on your behalf, and hotels historically come in your final documents. They're always first class, 4-star properties throughout the program.
Okay. Okay, well, Weston's always a good hotel, so that's fabulous. Anybody else have a question right now? Ian, I did notice though, when you said that, excuse me, the one extra charge of $150, that's already included in our price.
I realized when I saw, thank you, when I saw the brochure and it wasn't listed in there, I do apologize. Yes, that's one of the things that, you know, and I apologize in my making the PowerPoint. I know you always want that included, and it is included. I apologize.
No, and that's I just want people to realize that there's no extra 150 when you know later. It's with the surcharges on the right hand side of that brochure.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, I just wanted to clarify.
Any other questions? Anything out there that you got any questions on?
I don't think so. We don't have any in the room. And it doesn't seem like any. Regina, do you have any questions?
No, we do not.
Okay. Well, if
Then-
anybody does, please email me and I will find you the answers. Ian and his staff are very accessible and are very quick to respond to me. So just feel free to email me. Again, April 1st is the deadline for the early bird and such. And I think if you do it online, that's easy, but we'll always take the paper copies at the office. And just let people who've been with us before traveled. Sandra is no longer with us. She had to take another job that had benefits and so forth with her family situation. So we have a new person. Her name is Diana, and she just started today. So she will be your contact as well at the Hilliard Chamber. So myself and Diana. With that, I just want to thank Ian for doing a great job and explaining the trip. It looks phenomenal. I mean, just really, really interesting parts of the country or the world that we've never been to before. So this always had a little, and since Ian, he married a lady, his wife is Croatian, and he lived there, so he has that own personal love for the country. So
I go
with
there
that,
often. Every year, I go there every year, and I will be there in September. It's my sister-in-law's 60th birthday. What happened to those years? It's my
I don't
sister-in-law's
even want to hear about
60th
60.
birthday. So I'll be there for her birthday this year. But yeah, it's a great destination. The food and wine is wonderful. And importantly, yes, we do have April the 1st before that early bird expires. But if you know you want to go, please sign up sooner than later, because we do have others on this date, other chambers. And right now we're looking for one motor coach. And usually the Hilliard Chamber produces a motor coach in itself.
Yeah.
So, so get yourself on that first coach, get yourself on the trip, look after yourself, protect yourself with cancel for any reason insurance, and put an X on the calendar, and know that you can get your money back for all money pays to us, except the insurance, all the way up to 131 days before you go.
Exactly. All right. Well, with that, I
Thank you.
think we'll end the webinar. And, if anybody has questions, like I said, libby@hilliardchamber.org, you will reach me for sure. So,
Thank you.
all right. See everybody. Thanks for being
Bye-bye.
here. Bye.